नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनित नाम्ने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्य सुतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna Prabhu. I think you can see my screen now.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So we were discussing Canto 4, chapter 25 onwards. We will continue that. Give me a second now. So just to recap, in this chapter, I think last week due to some other services we could not continue. So in this chapter as of now, what we have seen is, we saw that in the previous chapter, Prachetas, they went for austerity, and then Lord Shiva instructing them, we discussed the Rudra Gita, and then he disappeared. So after he disappeared, the Prachetas, they were engaged in the austerity as described by Lord Shiva to them, and then after that we saw that Narada Muni, he he saw that that Prachina Bhari is engaged in more of karma kanda or ceremonies, more of doing austerity like that, heart sacrifices. So he wanted to elevate him. Yeah, he wanted to elevate him, and then he comes and speak to him. He said, "What are you doing?" And then eventually, uh, Prachina Bhari, he asks that, "Please guide me, right? Please guide me. What shall I do?" So with that context, Narada Muni started narrating a story, allegorical story, which is not real story, but he talks about Puranjana and Puranjini, and eventually this story was actually of Pratibha itself, and also we can discuss understood that it can be for as a living entity too. And then he described that Prachinabhari, he has a desire, and he was searching for to fulfill his desire. He was a king, and he roamed around many places. He could not find anything, but eventually he was disappointed. But finally he found a place, yeah, which is Bharatavarsha, which is southern side of the Himalayas, and it had 9 gates, the city of 9 gates, and there are so many different things we discussed about the wall, the part, the towers, the canals, the windows. Those are basically comparing to the body, like the walls are compared to the skin, the parks are like hairs, the towers are like highest parts like nose, head. In that way, uh, we discussed, right? And after roaming around in that city of 9 gates, Puranjana, he sees a beautiful lady, woman, which is called as Puranjini. And then Puranjana, being attracted to Puranjini, he started inquiring about, oh, who are you? Whose dynasty you belong to? Whose daughter are you? Or looks like Providence has brought you here for me. In that way, it's being described. We saw that, right? So now let us continue from there today. So we cover till text 24. We'll continue from text 25 today. No. So we cover till text 29. We'll continue from text 30. Yeah, so text 29 was, he said that, "O greatly fortunate one, it appears that you are none of the women I have mentioned, because I see that your feet are touching the ground." We discussed that point, that he was, Puranjana was saying that to this woman Puranjini, that are you Parvati, are you Lakshmi or are you Saraswati or Bhavani, like that. But eventually he said that your feet are touching to the ground, it means you are none of those. The point is that whenever, I mean, it's even the devatas, they come in the material world, their feet always remain aloof from the ground. Yeah. So that's why he says, your feet are touching ground, so you're none of those. However, he said that you should understand that I am a great hero and a very powerful king on this planet. So basically, he said that you can live with me. So let us see text 30. Yadesamaapanga vikhanditendriyam Sharvida bhavasmita vibраmadruva भ्रुवा तयोपर्ष्टो भगवान मनोभाव प्रभाधते थांग्रना शोभने. Yes, Kishori Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Certainly, your glancing upon me today has very much agitated my mind. Your smile, which is full of shyness but at the same time lusty, is agitating the most powerful cupid within me. Therefore, O most beautiful, I ask you to be merciful upon me. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, we discussed that this lady Puranjini, she was very beautiful. Her body was quite very beautifully decorated. Right? I mean, he was also wearing a yellow sari, like that we discussed. She was very youth. Yeah. So certainly because of that, Puranjana was attracted, and now he's saying that your glancing upon me has made me agitated. Actually, in the same context, if you see the Mohini Murti pastime of the Lord, I think we were discussing the other day in the temple. When Mohini Murti appeared, the Lord, when he took the form of a lady to take nectar from the demons in the pastime of churning of the ocean milk, right? And because the nectar was with the demons and it has to come out, so Lord appeared as a lady, very beautiful lady, and through the glance he made uh, forget the demons, that why they have been working so hard till now. The reason was to get the nectar. Now, as nectar was there, but by the captivating glance of Mohini Murti, every demon they completely got illusioned and they forgot that what they wanted. So it was, and then they happily they gave the nectarian pot to Mohini Murti, and Mohini Murti boldly said that I'm going to cheat you, and she cheated as well, right? So, I mean, we can discuss more on that part, but yeah. So let us see what Prabhupada says. Everyone has lusty desires within, and as soon as one is agitated by the movement of a beautiful woman's eyebrows, the Cupid within immediately throws his arrows at the heart. Thus, one is quickly conquered by the eyebrows of a beautiful woman. When one is agitated by the lusty desires, his senses are attracted by all kinds of visaya, enjoyable things like sound, touch, form, smell, and taste. These attractive sense objects oblige one to come under the control of a woman. In this way, the conditioned life of living entity begins. Yeah. Conditioning or conditional life means being under the control of a woman, and certainly the living entity is always at the mercy of a woman or a man. Thus, living entity live in a bondage to one another, and thus they continue this conditional material life illusion by Maya. Yeah, in this context, remember we discussed earlier the two things about the grahastha and grahamedi. Na pashyatam atmatattam grahesu grahamedinam. That what it says. That being in the family life, being in a grahastha, na pashyatam, if we do not see the who is this self, or who am I, or who doesn't inquire for Atma Tattva, that actually is not Grahastha ashram, but rather it's Grahamedhi. So they continue to be in the conditioned life. Yeah. However, anyone who takes shelter of Lord Hari, practice devotional service, they take the Grahastha ashram because the center point is Krishna. Right? Okay, so let us see next. त्वदानं शुभ्रुषुतारलोचनं व्यालं विनीलालकवृन्दसंभृताम् उन्नीय मे दर्शय वाल्गुवाचकं यद्वीरदया नाभिमुखं शुचिस्मिते. Yes, Bijay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. My dear girl, your face is so beautiful with your nice.
I think we lost you, Prabhu. Okay, I'll read out. My dear girl, your face is so beautiful with your nice eyebrows and eyes, and with your bluish hair scattered about. In addition, very sweet sounds are coming from your mouth. Nonetheless, you are so covered with shyness that you do not see me face to face. I therefore request you, my dear girl, to smile and kindly raise your head to see me. So basically, he wanted to see her face or show her face to him. So Prabhupada says such a speech is typical of a living entity attracted by the opposite sex. This is called the bewilderment occasioned by being conditioned by material nature. When thus attracted by the beauty of a material energy, one becomes very eager to enjoy. This is elaborately described in the instance of Puranjanas becoming attracted by the beautiful woman. In conditional life, the living entity is attracted by a face, eyebrows, eyes, a voice, or anything. In short, everything becomes attractive. And when a man and a woman are attracted by the opposite sex, it doesn't matter whether the opposite sex is beautiful or not. The lover sees everything beautiful in the face of the beloved and thus becomes attracted. This attraction causes the living entity to fall down in the material world. This is described in the Bhagavad Gita 7:20. Ichcha devasa samuddhena dvanda mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. Ocean of Bharata, Arjuna, a conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, overcome by the dualities of desire and hate. Yeah, I think we were discussing this point, Ichhadvesha, in chapter 3 as well, Bhagavad Gita chapter 3. There, the acharyas write beautiful things. In the material world, generally, we attract towards enjoying this material world, right? Which should be dvesa, which we should control our enjoying a material world. And dvesa, it says that we keep ourselves far away from spiritual activities. Okay, once a week or maybe once a month, visit temple, that's all done, right? But that has to be done more frequently than sense enjoyment. Yeah. So this condition of life is called avidya, or opposite or opposed to this avidya is the real knowledge. And Ishopanishad distinguishes between vidya, avidya, knowledge and ignorance. By avidya, one becomes conditioned, and by vidya, one becomes liberated. And Puranjana admits herein that he is attracted by avidya. Now, he wishes to see the complete feature of the avidya and so requests the girl to raise her head so that he can see her face to face. He thus wishes to see the various features that makes avidya attractive. Okay, let us see what Narada Muni says more. Narada Uvasha Itham Puranjanam Nari Yachamanam Adirvata अभ्यनंदत तं वीरं हसन्ति वीरमोहिता. Yes, Rupesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Narada continued, my dear king, when Puranjana became so attracted and impatient to touch the girl and enjoy her, the girl also became attracted by his words and accepted his request by smiling. By this time, she was certainly attracted by the king.
Okay, Siva is also attracted by the king now. Yeah. So by this incident, we can understand that when a man is aggressive and begins to woo a woman, the woman becomes attracted to the man. This process is described in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.8.8. Pumsa striya methuni bhavam etam. This attraction is enacted on the platform of sexual life. Thus, the sex impulse is the platform of material engagement. This conditional life, the platform of the material sense enjoyment, is the cause of forgetfulness of spiritual life. In this way, a living entity's original Krishna consciousness becomes covered or converted into material consciousness. Thus, one engages in the business of sense gratification. Okay. Text 33. Navidam vayam samyak kartaram purushashrava atmanascha parasyapi gotram nama cha yat kritam. Yes, Urmila Mataji.
Hare Krishna. The girl said, O best of human beings, I do not know who has begotten me. I cannot speak to you perfectly about this, nor do I know the names or the origin of the associates with me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So now she's you know she's answering the question of Puranjana, that who are you, where are you come from, or whose daughter are you, what's the purpose of coming here, like those questions she's answering a bit here, that I do not know my name, right? I've forgotten who am I can't speak to you perfectly because about this also she don't wanted to say about it, nor do I know the names or the origins of the associates with me, right? Interesting. Yeah. So the living entity, Prabhupada's purpose is going to clear it more. He said the living entity is ignorant of his origin. So when he says that I do not know or I have forgotten it, so it says that the living entity is ignorant of his own. He does not know why this material world was created, why others are working in this material world, and what are the ultimate source of this manifestation is. No one knows the answer to these questions, and this is called ignorance. What is ignorance? Ignorance is why I'm here and everything, isn't it? That is ignorance. By researching into the origin of life, important scientists are finding some chemical compositions or cellular combinations. But actually, no one knows the original source of life within this material world. The phrase Brahma Jigyasa is used to indicate an inquisitiveness to know the original source of our existence in this material world. No philosopher, scientist, or politicians actually knows where from we have come, why we are here struggling so hard for existence, and where we will go. Generally, people are of the opinion that we are all here accidentally, and that as soon as these bodies are finished, all our dramatic activities will be finished and we will become zero. Such scientists and philosophers are impersonalists and voidists. In this verse, the girl is expressing the actual position of the living entity. She cannot tell Puranjana her father's name because she doesn't know from where she has come, nor does she know why she is present in that place. She frankly says that she does not know anything about all these. This is the position of living entity in the material world, right? So there are so many scientists, philosophers, and big leaders, but they do not know where from they have come, nor they know why they are busy within this material world to obtain a position or so-called happiness. Yeah. Let us see more thing going to reveal with this story. Text 34. इहाद्य सन्तम् आत्मानं वेदां न ततः परम् येनेयं निर्मता वीरा पूरी शरण आत्मना. Yes, Kishori Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Oh, great hero, we only know that we are existing in this place. We do not know what will come after. Indeed, we are so foolish that we do not care to understand who has created this beautiful place for our residence. Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada right away says that this lack of Krishna consciousness is called ignorance. Yeah. In Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.5, it is called Parabhavas Tavad Abodha Jata. Everyone is born ignorant. And the Bhagavatam therefore says that Bhagavatam therefore says that we are all born ignorant. Yeah. Within this material world, and in our ignorance, we may create nationalism, philanthropy, internationalism, social science, philosophy, and so many other things. The basic principles behind all these is ignorance. What then is the value of all this advance of knowledge if the basic principle is ignorance? Unless a person comes to Krishna consciousness, all of his activities are defeated. The human form of life is specially meant to dissipate ignorance, but without understanding how to dissipate ignorance, people are planning and building many things. After death, however, all of this is finished. Yeah, it's a fact that after that everything is finished. We were discussing the other day as well. We have the two kinds of bank: spiritual bank and material bank. In the material bank, we earn money, we earn education, we earn the fame, name, knowledge, everything. But as soon as this body is gone, right, and as soon as this body is gone, everything is gone. Even if we were discussing the other day that even if we take another birth, and there are so many cases of incarnation. I mean, every incarnation is a fact, but still there are many cases where people have remembered their past lives. So just in case, we may claim that okay, next life, if I remember everything, I could go and challenge my university. Say, see, this is the university I passed through. This is my name, and this is how much score I have done in my school, college, and everything. Please provide me certificate again. We may go to bank saying that this is my bank details, this is my name, this was my address, everything it is. I'm providing you whatever you want to me, and I can give you all this information. So the left amount on the bank, please pass it back to me. It's not possible. isn't it? So that's is zero again. Everything is zero. I have to restart again. But whatever coins we put in our spiritual bank, that never goes down. It continues in our next life and next life and next life as well, right? So spiritual balance continues life after life. Material balance is gone. Yeah, certainly we might have some intelligence coming from our previous life, but with that intelligence also we'll have to carry on through, we have to go through those schools studies again. We can't say, I mean, we may be, become so much intelligent, we can be topper or we can earn things quickly, but we cannot claim what has been done now in our previous lives. That's all zero for us. Yeah, everything all finished. I think there is Professor Steve Johns, I'm forgetting his complete name. He has done a research, Sir Stevenson, I think.
Ian Stevenson, I think, Prabhu.
Yes, Ian Stevenson. So he has done a research for more than 3,000 cases, and maybe counting. So if you want to search in the Google, you can search it. Actually, he has so many cases of reincarnation, and people, they have remember everything of their past life. Yeah. So yes, we may say that we don't believe in reincarnation, what the proof, but yes, it's exists. Prabhupada sometimes says that a people blind person stands and say there is no sun. It doesn't mean that there is no sun. It's only covering because of his blindness. He can't see things. So because of our ignorance, we cannot see through. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Even Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita as well, anyone who takes birth dies again, and anyone who dies, he takes birth again. Yeah. Okay, so that's the ignorance. Okay. Let us see what she says here. Yeah, what she says here is, we only know that we are existing in this place. It means Jiva. So if you see, relate this previous verse, he says Jiva has forgotten his own identity, but he says that I am just remembering that I am here in this place right now, and I do not know what will come after. Means we do not know the future, right? And we are so foolish that even we don't care to understand it, right? That who has created this beautiful place for existence. So as of now, this Puranjani is saying that I do not know my name, I do not know my family, everything, I forgot everything. However, right now I'm existing in this place and nothing else. Okay, so let's see text 35 what it says. Ete sankhya sankhyo me nara naryarcha manada suptyam mai jagrati nagoyam palayana purim. Yes, Vijay Prabhu, maybe you can hear you now.
Yes, Prabhu. My dear gentlemen, all these men and women with me are known as my friend, and the snake who always remains awake, protect this city even during my sleeping hours. So much I know. I do not know anything beyond this.
So remember when Puranjani came, Puranjani asked that who are those associates coming along with you, right? So the snake was time, isn't it? So let us see. Puranjana inquired from the woman about those 11 men and their wives and the snake. Yeah. The women gave a brief description of them. She was obviously without full knowledge of her surrounding men and women and the snake. As stated before, the snake is the vital force of the living being. This vital force always remains awake even when the body and the senses becomes fatigued and do not work. Even in the state of unconsciousness, when we sleep, the snake's or life force remains intact and awake. Consequently, we dream when we sleep. And when the living entity gives up this metal body, the vital force still remains intact and is carried to the another metal body. This is called as transmigration or reincarnation or change of the body, or which we commonly known as death. Yeah, so we know that happens only to the body, not to the soul. Yeah. So 10 senses and the mind and vital force that it is. Yeah. Yeah. Prabhupada says here, actually there is no death. The vital force always exists with the soul, and when the soul is awakened from so-called sleep, he can see his 11 friends, or the active senses and the mind with various desires. So desires are compared to wives. The vital life force remains. Even during our sleeping hours, we can understand by virtue of our breathing process that the snake lives by eating the air that passes within this body. And air is exhibited in the form of breathing. And as long as the breath is there, one can understand that a sleeping man is alive. Even when the gross body is asleep, the vital force remains active and alive to protect the body. Thus, the snake is described as a living and eating air to keep the body fit for life. Yeah. So these are the associate, the 10 senses, the mind, intelligence. Okay. Text 36. दृष्टयागतोऽसि भद्रं ते ग्राम्यां कामाम् अभिपश्यसे उद्धिश्यामि तांस्तेऽहं सोबन्धोभिररिन्दम. Yes, Rupesh Prabhu.
O killer of the enemy, you have somehow or other come here. This is certainly great fortune for me. I wish all auspicious things for you. You have a great desire to satisfy your senses, and all my friends and I shall try our best in all respects to fulfill your desires.
Yeah, so Puranjan is kind of now trying to fulfill the desire of Puranjana. Right, basically the 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 senses and the mind and the life force, they are going to fulfill the desire of this so-called body. Yeah. So the living entity comes down into the material world for sense gratification, and his intelligence, represented by the woman, gives him the proper direction by which he can satisfy senses to their best capacity. So, in actuality, however, intelligence comes from the super soul and the supreme personality of the Godhead, and he gives full facility to the living entity who come down to this material world. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 2.41, Vyavasatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana bahusakhayanantascha buddhayo vasainam. So those who are on the spiritual path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute in many branches. Yeah, in this context, understanding is that here Prabhupada's writing, the intelligence comes from the super soul. Yeah, we were discussing the last day in our Bhagavad Gita discussion as well, that while in chapter number 3, Krishna explaining to Arjuna, when Arjuna asks the question that, oh Krishna, why is the living entity or people, they are they helplessly act on sinful activities like someone is forcing them to perform. And then Krishna answered saying that lust is the reason, right? The unlimited desire is the reason. And then Krishna gives about the way to control this lust or control the desires. So how Prabhupada explains the point is that our senses is like five. He gave example of a chariot. Actually, it's also in the Puranas. The chariot got a passenger. Chariot have a driver. I think let me share the screenshot for a second. It might make more relevant to see it out. Okay, give me 1 second. Oh, where it is gone? Okay, 1 second. Yeah. So if you can see the screen now, a picture.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the analogy is that it's a chariot, right? And a chariot got 5 horses. These are our 5 senses. Yeah. And then there's the reins. These are being controlled by the driver, and it has passenger. Just imagine if a passenger wants to go to the destination, and these 5 horses are running across 5 directions. Do you think the driver can control them? Right? Or if the horses are not being controlled, then how could the passenger reach his destination? Isn't it? So how this analogy fits with that, these horses are compared to the senses, and this rein which connect to the horse and the driver is compared to the mind. So the mind should control the senses. Generally it happens opposite way. The senses control the mind. Senses say, okay, he sees something on the streets, okay, this looks good, I want to eat it. He looks something, I want to buy it. He looks something, he want to say, okay, I want to enjoy it. So the senses, they control the mind, but the mind should control the senses, because the rein should control the horses, otherwise horses will go around. And then this driver is compared to intelligence, and intelligence should control the mind, and mind should control the senses, right? If the driver could control nicely the horses, then the passenger can reach the destination, and the passenger here is the soul. Yeah. So to soul to reach the destination, intelligence should be engaged in a proper way. So that's why he says intelligence comes from super soul, and Krishna says, isn't it, in Bhagavad Gita as well, that the forgetful, the intelligence, the forgetful is actually coming from me. Jnanam apavanam cha. Yeah. So intelligence should control the mind, and mind should control the senses. That's how the passenger can reach his way. And what is that? He said that ekya kunandana, the vyavasatmika buddhi, ekya kunandana. So the vyavasaya or the business of Atma, it should be just one pointed, ekya kunandana, to be one pointed to find the destination of going back to spiritual world or engaging in Krishna consciousness. Yeah. Yep. So yes, 9 now. We'll stop today here. I will continue tomorrow, yeah, my calendar is okay. Yeah, we'll continue tomorrow from text 37. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you so very
Thank you,
much.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.